Hey guys, this week's video is going to be on my top 5 reasons of why you should visit Korea. The first reason is that they have reliable and cheap transit. As someone who has always relied on public transportation, this is one of the first things that I'm interested in when I go to a new place. Korea's transportation is incredibly cheap, with a one-way ride being priced at a little more than $1. For as little as this, you can get pretty far. There are tons of train lines to choose from and covers almost anywhere you'd want to visit. This obviously doesn't include their fancier long-distance trains and buses that go to Busan, for instance, but I will say that I've had good experiences with them as well. Something I found impressive with their transit system is that it is smart in the sense that it can detect human error. If you accidentally scan into the wrong site and realize that you need to switch over, the system won't charge you for the extra fare of re-entry. I'll admit that I've had my fair share of incidents, so I think this is a kind gesture, especially since their system does not support a monthly transit method. Another thing that I really like is that when you scan your transit card, called T-Money here, the screen shows you how much money you have left in your card. This helps you know if you're running low and need to recharge soon. My only complaint is that you can only charge your T-Money card with cash. It can be bothersome at times, but I think it's a small price to pay compared to all the upsides. Reason 2 is safety and trust. Safety is obviously important, and outside of shady places like the clubs, Korea is overall a really safe place to live in. In Philly, it was best to play smart and walk in groups, especially at night. I can't tell you how many times people have told me to bring pepper spray or something. In Korea, I feel 100% safe walking around at night, even alone in the late hours. In the same vein, something I've noticed is how trusting people are with their belongings. People regularly leave valuables out and go to the restroom with their things unattended. At first, I thought this was such a weird phenomenon. I've come to admire the trust they have in others. I think it is a good example to follow by. My third reason is food and convenience stores. Moving on to the more superficial things, I do quite enjoy the food here. Maybe it's just because I'm more into Asian cuisine, but their food selection is delicious and always worth a try. Especially if you're interested in spicy food, Korea is definitely a place that you need to visit. I don't think I've had anything that tasted bad in the entire time I've been here. On a related note, I've already talked about this in a lot of past vlogs, but I can't help but to mention convenience stores again when it comes to food. I find myself going to one between classes for a cheap and tasty meal. They offer a good variety of lunchboxes, sandwiches, kimbap, ramen, and other freshly cooked food like chicken tenders. They're different from American convenience stores as they provide seating and stations for you to prepare your food to eat there. This brings me to my next point, the tipping and tax culture in Korea. Essentially, what you see is what you get. When you order food, you're not expected to tip afterwards. In fact, it may even be considered rude to tip, as it may be mistaken for arrogance or pity. While it is important to thank the staff for their hard work, I think it's convenient to know the total price without the extra add-ons. When purchasing products at a market or anywhere else, the price listed includes the tax. This just goes into my earlier point of how customers have total transparency about their pricing. I personally think it's refreshing and it helps in decisions of purchasing items. Lastly, I have to mention how cute everything in Korea is. I'm a sucker for cute things, and America isn't exactly known for it in the same way that Korea is. Iconic characters from Kakao Friends and Line Friends could be seen everywhere advertising products. Even outside of these characters, stores often go for the cute appeal with their own mascots and color schemes. Color palettes are more playful with their vibrant colors, and pastel colors are incredibly trendy and worn by both genders. I can't really put it into words, it's something you have to see for yourself. This concludes my list, but honorable mentions include K-pop culture if you're into that, and their cosmetic/beauty industry. There are definitely things that people come solely to Korea for. But yeah, pretty enticing reasons to visit Korea if I say so myself. Anyways, that's all for the video. Thanks for watching.